Everybody, it's Maury and welcome back to Painted. We are here today to finish up the fun spring projects we started yesterday. So yesterday we started the sandcastle, the pig, the chicken, and the crown cutout. And thank you all for those of you who messaged afterwards, those who have ordered product. I'm very happy to be sending you your orders. Once again, I ask everybody to share the videos, Facebook algorithms, to help my page grow and help my page be able to continue to present videos. Facebook algorithms likes it when you share videos, so I'm asking everybody to share. We're going to move forward with the live. We are going to, I'm just going to start by showing you yesterday's sandcastle. So as you can see up close, we got that nice sandy texture from the glass nuggets put in and rolling on the texture medium. I think that created a great sandcastle. Now obviously this needs some more attention. I haven't figured out what I'm doing with it yet, so I'm not completing that one today. It's more a little summery. I mean, it's still in spring, but the sandcastle is so cute. I had to start something with it. And next I have to move on to figure out exactly how I'm going to paint it. The next project is the pig. Now, you saw yesterday that I had decoupaged the pig. Hi, Lolly, nice to see you. And the pig is so cute, oh my gosh. So what I did when I got to today, I'm just checking to make sure everything's stuck where it should be. Of course, if it lifts, I can always fix it. Yesterday I had just decoupaged the front and you couldn't see the back. So today when everything dried, I trimmed the paper edges and cut them neatly so that they could be folded up and around. And eventually I'll paint the back of this so that you don't see this messiness back here, but that's how you deal with the edges. You just kind of trim them and fold them around. And then we have this. Now this in itself is super stinking cute. I might not even change that, but today, since I promised to move on with it, I'm going to do my original plan with it. And of course I have to clear my big messy space because it still has paper from, some days you're just so busy. Every time you try to clean something up, you end up with a little extra mess. Now I am setting this on the lid of the can that I was working with yesterday simply because the back of this is still a little damp. I don't want it to stick to the surface, but the front is dry and ready to go. So the next thing we're going to do is use Old World Finishing Paint, which is a Faux Effects chalk-like paint product. This one happens to say tint base, but I had already pre-tinted it white. And then we're going to use a little Old World Finishing Paint in mustard and a little Old World Finishing Paint in lilac and a little Old World Finishing Paint in celery green, which is very pretty. It's also dripping down my hand because this is the fullest can. Ew. Okay, gooey hand now. All right, I'm gonna shift the camera up so that you can see what we're doing. And it's gonna take a second because as we all know, I'm not gifted with this. I'm a great painter and I am a very questionable camera person. Let's see if I can see this down here. And it's a little too close. So I gotta work this so you can see what I am doing. And I think I need that up a little higher. There we go. I think that should get me close to in frame. Of course, it doesn't. I'm sorry, folks. Again, got to get this camera thing straightened out and move some of the cans around so I can push everything so you can see me. Okay, so I turned off the cellular on my phone and I'm still getting phone calls. People still trying to call me. All right, so I'm going to turn this pig so you can see it. I'll lean it back towards me a little bit so you can see how this is. The first thing I'm going to do, when I work with Old World Finishing Paint, I always have a bucket of water, because this paint likes to dry very quickly, so it works best if I have a slightly damp brush. And then I dip it. First we're going to dip in the can of white. Exactly, except I have so much now right now on my mixing stick, I'm going to start with that. And all I'm doing is kind of cross-hatching this over. And I'm going to create a distressed finish on here where you can see some of the print, but not all of it. It's going to just sort of peek through. And I'll come back and sand it through a little bit later, maybe. Maybe not. If I like it enough this way, I won't. I got a little spot that lifted over here. Right over here I got a little lift spot, so I'll take a little set coat clear later after I finish messing with this. And fix that, because I can. This is an easy, super simple finish and very forgiving. The idea is that I'm creating something rustic here, so I don't want it perfect. So I've smeared some white on here, and actually I'm gonna reach into my bucket over here of set coat and just smudge that one spot down right here, right there. That'll help adhere that a little better. Just got a little lifted. Set coat clear, stuck it back down, not a problem. All right, then the next color I'm gonna take is just a hint of the mustard. I've got just a little bit on my brush. Hi, Betty, nice to see you. Thank you for sharing and inviting. Again, everybody share, share, share. It helps me a great deal. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of the yellow on. I don't want a lot of it. Yeah, this mustard color can overpower really quickly. And then I'm going to take my brush and grab a little lilac, which I have to reach all the way across the table for. Try not to throw brushes, which of course I did. Hi, Sue, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. All right, so I'm just putting a little color here and there because it's real easy for these colors to kind of take over, especially the darker ones, and I don't want that to happen. Now I've got my, hi Sarah, nice to see you. I've got my last brush, dipping in a little water, going right into the celery and brushing that on here. Put a little more green in here. Get my brush out of the, gosh, all my brushes right in the middle of the camera so you can't see anything I'm doing. So you can see I'm sort of cross-hatching this a little bit, and then I'm going to come back with my white brush and a little bit of water, and I'm going to blend it in here a little bit because I want this kind of smooshy in the color. Yes, I know it's a highly technical term, smooshy. And what I've done is sort of muddied up these colors just a little bit, and I'm okay with that because I can always come back and add more. But if I continue to blend right now while it's wet, I'm just gonna make muddy colors. The only thing I wanna do is add a little more of the green in here so that when I come back and blend later, I've got that softened out. These are really springy colors, and they make me happy. Very fresh looking. So you can see the print still shows through. Hey Rhonda, nice to see you. Randy and Ashley. So let me get my brush out of the way again because I leave things aiming towards me. So right now you can see I've got just the colors kind of smooshed in, and yes, I do have a kind of a big purple blob right in the middle there, so I'm gonna blend that out a little bit. Take some of that purple. The purple wants to overwhelm really fast because it's the deeper color, but I like these soft blended colors, and I could even do bright colors on this, but right now it's kind of a spring pig thing, so I'm enjoying the soft spring colors. And I gotta let that sit and dry. Now the other thing to understand is Old World finishing paint dries super, super fast. There's not a whole lot of binder in here, so it's not a standalone product. It will have to be sealed one way or the other. But it'll dry totally matte and chalky, and you're gonna love it. This is one of my favorite products. So look how cute that is on the first layer with the pig. Is he kosher? I don't think any pig's kosher, Martin, but if you can find a way to make that happen, let me know. We'll move on to the kosher chicken, which is where I'm gonna swing the camera to next. Alrighty, so let me swing the camera around to our chicken, which you should hopefully be able to see. I've swung that around the right way. I have a glass of beverage around here somewhere too, and it's a little dry today. Even though it's pouring rain out, it's a little dry here in the studio. Alrighty. Nice sparkling soda. All right, let's get this chicken better into the frame. So here's yesterday's green stained chicken, which I still think I love this sort of soft woody spring green. It's so pretty. Now, I could leave this like this. And again, all of you who do transfers and stuff, you could do a very cute transfer of a vintage label here or all kinds of things like that. It's so cute, but I personally like just a pattern with a little texture to it. So you're flooding, Ashley. Oh my God. Be careful, stay safe. Drinking sparkling water. Everybody don't get too excited. Nothing hard. So here is my stencil. It's one of my favorites. I just happen to love this kind of bubbly thing that it has going on. Now I can go this way with it. I can go so the bubbles are vertical, or I could go horizontal so it looks like the chicken's being wrapped up, which I really kind of don't like. It's got, looks a little too much like barbed wire around the chicken for my taste. So I'm going to put these stencil on here. I'm going to line it up to get the maximum impact out of the stencil. I have placed a little bit of spray adhesive on this just to keep it in place. As I've stated before, adhesive doesn't prevent bleeding, it prevents the stencil from lifting, which helps prevent bleeding. I did not set up my camera so that I can see easily what the comments are. So if I miss any comments, please be patient. I will review them and deal with them and answer them and give you whatever questions you need answered after the live if I don't see your question right now. All right, and the next product we're going to use is our Artsyville metallic paste. This is a wonderful metallic plaster that comes in a tint base. The lid. I opened the lids before this, and of course it still doesn't want to open. But you can see it's got a soft kind of pearly shine. Now I can tint this any color, or I can use it on its own. And I think today, because I have this pretty spring color, even if this dries a little translucent, I will be happy to have it without any tint on the chicken. So we're functioning with a big stencil and a small chicken, and things want to roll up, so be patient. We got to go a little slow. Let's check my curve on my blade so I can see this properly. And I'm just taking a little bit of plaster on at a time and gently pushing it through. If I push too hard, you know, if I go too crazy, I can force product under the stencil, and then that makes a mess that I have to figure out how to clean up. Q-tips, I have many Q-tips, but I'd prefer not to have to clean it up at all if I can avoid it. So I'm just going gently. South Louisiana is always flooding. Oh my gosh. Ashley, stay safe, honey. All my southern friends who are in flooding. It's raining here today, but it's, you know, it's spring in Chicago. It always rains in spring in Chicago. We don't think about that. Get a little flash flooding, the rivers rise, but nothing like you guys get in Louisiana. So you can see that I'm just gently scraping this into the stencil openings, making sure I don't miss any. All right. And when this dries, this is going to have this beautiful, soft, metallic, pearly shimmer. And, you know, I can use all kinds of things to tint this. I can use any of my colorants, including faux cream colors and faux colors in it. I can use my metallic primary elements in it, although I don't, while this is good for that, I think there are other things that can work better with those products just because they have such a unique shimmer on their own. I can add mica powders to this. I can do all kinds of things. Let's see. You got wind in Massachusetts last night. Well, that's better than flooding, I think, unless it starts blowing trees over onto your house. You know, I'm in the Midwest. Somehow we're always in the middle. We don't get it here in Chicago area because we're too close to water and stuff, but we get, you know, tornado warnings all the time. Never had a tornado really hit Chicago that much. You know, a couple little tiny ones, but they didn't really do any damage. They more startled people than anything. Okay, so let me get that last little bit. Come on, go through the stencil, darn it. Might have a little bleed on that. All right, so let's lift the stencil. Okay. Put the stencil to the side. Try not to throw it on anybody or anything. And you can see how cute this came out. Now I have a couple little tiny bleed spots right up there. When we're finished, I'll go grab Q-tips and a little bleed down here. Grab Q-tips and clean it up. Hey, Carrie, nice to see you. Okay, but I gotta tell you, I think this chicken looks so darn cute like this. Look how cute this thing is. Oh my gosh, I hadn't decided until the very last minute what I was gonna do with it, and I think it looks so cute. So I'm gonna, when I finish up, like I said, I'm gonna get a couple Q-tips, clean up some of the goopy spots. As you can see, I'm wiping the edges with my thumbs because, you know, I can't be smart enough to not do messy stuff like that and put on a pair of gloves. But this is one of the cleaner days in the studio, actually. I don't have my fingernails caked. I think everybody should be impressed. Martin's seen me on bad days in the studio, and I'm just up to my elbows, and quite frankly, so is Carrie. So if a couple of you were on here, you've seen me at some of my crazy messiest. Oh gosh, Ashley, I love this too. It's like the perfect combination of country and sophistication. I love it. I'm so excited by this. All right, we're gonna swing over to our crown, and I will adjust the camera. I'm not gonna leave it sitting weird like that. It's on a Lazy Susan, so I roll it around and shove it to the side. All right, we are over here, and this is the one thing I know I need gloves for, so I'm grabbing my gloves. Even if with messy hands, I need this on here because this stuff will goop up forever. All right, let me bring my camera up so you can see it. Here we go. All right. All right, I'm reading everybody's comments, but it looks like you guys are having a great time chatting with each other, so you don't have any questions for me, so I haven't screwed anything up. All right, this is the crown we did yesterday, and as you recall, when I pulled the stencil up, it was white, but now you can see how the bead gel with the glitter is drying. Look how cute that is. I finished the other side this afternoon, so it's still curing up, but look, oh my God, super glitter. It's so gorgeous. I am so excited about this. So I now need to finish off the points of the crown, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do until I thought for a minute. So what we're going to do is use our Artsyville gel medium, mix it with some glitter and glass beads, which I have right behind me. I have iris glass beads, and where are my pearl ones? They were behind me. Those are silver. And let's see. So one thing I didn't grab right before we started here was the glass beads, because there's just so much going on. Give me a second, folks. I need to reach up onto the shelf to grab it. Because I can see them, I just can't reach them. Here we go. These are the ones I wanted, most particularly. I don't know if you can hear me when I walk away, but I wanted pearl glass beads because they're so pretty. All right, so thank you, Carrie. Isn't it gorgeous when you mix our bead gel with other goodies? You just create the possibilities are endless. I mean, the bead gel itself on its own is stunning, and then when you add stuff to it, it just becomes like liquid confetti. It's just beautiful. So this is our bead gel. It is 100% acrylic, VOC compliant, has great bonding properties. All right, and I'm just scraping off what was on the lid. So I've got a little bead gel in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of mica powder. This is Super Sparkle Pearl Mica from Sepleaf, because I want it really pearly. Ooh, that's pretty. I want it pearly but translucent, and you'll see why I want it translucent in a moment. Well, I need a little more pearl in there, I think. There we go. Betty, this is so fun. All right, I try to read your comments, but again, the camera is angled down, so I can't always see what's being said. So I've mixed some mica powder into here, and then I'm going to take the pearl beads. I was going to use the iris beads, which are gorgeous, but they're a little big, so they weren't where it wasn't the right scale for what I was doing. And I'm dumping a whole lot of these pearl beads in here. Everybody asked me how much pearl bead, how many beads to put into your mixture, and I said until you think it's enough. Which is really the truth. It depends on how dense you want the beads in your pearl mix or in any mixture. Normally, I would say almost 2 pounds of beads to a quart, but that will create actually close to 1.5 quarts of product because you have displacement. Going back to my high school science class, the volume of the beads creates displacement, and you end up creating more volume of product. So for that little glob that I put in there, I add all those beads and I get almost twice as much product. And then I'm going to take, because I never am smart enough to do this, I'm going to take my gloves off for just a second, and I am going to tape off the very edges here, so it doesn't get into the other mixtures. And it doesn't go where I don't want it to go, because that happens far too easily. As it is, it's probably going to goop off the edges and everything. I'm going to have to do some cleanup there, but that only takes a second. I don't need to clean up the whole project by screwing it up from the beginning. And here we go. And normally I use just a hotel room key or an old gift card or something. But what I happen to have right next to me is a little tiny German scraper. I don't like these particularly for glass beads because I find the metal makes them go bouncing. But it's what I have right here. And for this small a size, it's not that big a deal. So I'm gonna put my gloves back on, because I know my fingers will be in this, like a lot. So, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Push this forward just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna burnish my tape down a little. I'm gonna put a blob on the tip of each point of the crown. Now I can just spread around like I'm doing right here. And actually I kind of like the way this is spreading with the tongue depressor, so I won't even bother with using the German trowel. Why should I have got this? So all I'm doing is I'm trying to get it like one bead layer thick, get all the edges. I'm gonna clean off my little stick thing here for a second, because once it starts to build up, you can't. Oh, thank you, Rama. So I'm going to get this all around the edges of all of this. Now, if you ask me how this product compares to Palette Deco, which you all have seen me use so many times, it's a little softer, a little looser, great binding properties, no issues with that, just not as stiff as Palette Deco, which in many ways makes this easier to work with. So I'm buttering my little crown points here. And what will happen is, and even these, if you see any kind of troweling marks from the stick, most of that's going to disappear, because as the medium dries, it's going to shrink back and tighten up. And unless I have like a big, huge, thick mark, all the marks go away. And then I'm going to have really beautiful, large pearls on the top, at the peaks of the crown. I'm not sure what the peaks of the crown are called. I'm sure if I looked it up on my, crown website, what do each part of the crown symbolize, I'd find what the crown peaks represent. I'm sure somebody out there already knows. I just don't. Because crowns are extremely symbolic. When worn by royalty, the images on them, the shapes, they all have a meaning. So we're almost done here. This is going to be a pretty short live today. I think maybe we'll go back over to the pig after I finish this and finish another layer, because the pig should be dry, because it dries that fast. And then after that, I'll clean up my chicken. There's just wrong with that. I sound like I'm running a dairy or something, or a farm. I'm such a farm girl. I grew up just outside of New York, worked on Wall Street at one point. Yeah, that was not a successful gig. But I've always been a city girl. I moved from New York to Syracuse, which is where I went to school. Then lived there, but hated it because it was too small a city, and moved to Chicago. So I'm now in the third largest. I've lived in all three of the largest cities in the country. I grew up outside New York and lived in there for a little while. I lived in LA, and now I live in Chicago, or just outside of it. I've lived the three largest cities in the country, and a couple of others. Okay, so you can see I've basically frosted the tips of the crown with the pearl bead mix, and when it dries, it'll be more transparent and a lot more pearly and super, super cute. Oh, I'm loving this. All right, so I'm gonna swing the camera back around. We'll do another coat on the pig, and I think we'll call it a day. Yeah, we're doing fine time-wise. I keep track of time because I know not everybody wants to sit in here and watch me play with paint for hours. All right, I'm gonna swing the camera around, say hi to the chicken, and we're back over towards the pig. When I come over there, I will see just exactly where I need to shift the camera. I sound like I'm shuffling around like an old lady in here. It's because I'm walking sideways sometimes and trying to make sure that everything is not knocked over, because I'm really good at that. All right, so I'm gonna take some more of this. We're going back. Oh, Rima, you wanna watch me for hours. That's so sweet, thank you. So I'm coming back over this with some white, simply because I just want to mute these colors a little bit. I want it to be a little whiter. I find that sometimes the colors can overtake things, and I love this sort of cross-hatched whitewashed look. Makes me think of, you know, Tom Sawyer trying to get people to whitewash his fence. There's a reach for a reference, but hell, I pulled it out. Well, I'll just have to tolerate me with it. I love doing lives because I get to babble on and none of you stop me. I'm sorry if you don't want to listen to me babble. You better put it in the comments to shut up. A little bit more white right there. And let's see, I'm looking at this in the camera and I just want to take that right there. The nice thing with the camera is what I don't necessarily see when I'm looking at it myself, the camera picks up some changes in the light and forces me to see things. All right, where does it need something here? Okay. Oh, I love this pig. It's so cute. And here's my little country pig. Look how cute that is. Oh my God, I'm loving this. Oh, you guys love my babble. Well, that's a good thing, because I don't know if I entertain you, but I sure as hell entertain myself. All right. So, let's get the camera up so you can see me. And if my friend Kathleen was watching, she'd tell me to just put it on my chest because she loves looking at my boobs. I don't know why. Probably TMI on that one. So here we are. We're done for today. I'm keeping it brief, but I wanted to finish these projects, and I will post them once they've dried and everything's cleared and I've finished glazing. I'll probably have to, I know I have to top coat the pig because, quite frankly, it cannot stay on its own with this Old World finishing paint without a top coat. It needs that to preserve the paint. And anything else I do, I still gotta figure out what I'm doing with the sandcastle, which, once again, I love this product mix on here. I just have to figure out, you know, because I've only made it really hard for me to paint anything on it by making it super textury. Yeah, you can see my fingers catching on it. So I got to figure out how to paint on there. So I'll probably be cutting some stencils for castle windows and things like that. Maybe stenciling in a few shadows. I got to work that one out. You know, I need to figure it out a little bit. So once again, all my products, all the Artsyville products that you've seen on here, and actually I even carry brushes similar to these, are all available on my website, paintedstudio.com. And the video will be uploaded here. You can, of course, always ask me questions. Once again, I ask you to share my videos. Makes the Facebook algorithms happy and allows me to reach more people with the fun things we're doing. So I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. And oink, oink. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure it out. Goodbye.